Alright, this is for Fiks. This is for Mayor Kathleen Pugh. This is for Governor Hogan. I'm getting ready to file a lawsuit on February the 2nd, 2019 about my property, my intellectual property. I'm out a truck, computer, and I'm out a lot of things. I was making a movie and a documentary about race and racism in the courts. I was making a documentary about mass incarceration. I was making a movie about the war on drugs. I'm a whistleblower on the courts. And this documentary is about the courts. Now Fiks got till February the 2nd to figure out what he's gonna do with me. Cause he gotta produce something for my movie. Either he produces something for my movie or he's gonna be part of the lawsuit. Greg Bernstein had this. Scott Schellenberger had this. You locked up a whistleblower because I was blowing the whistle on the corruption in the courts. Mosby had this since 2014. I gave it to her at the campaign at the NAACP. Alright? So we're going to talk about this because the Department of Justice got this. I'm a whistleblower in the courts. The Department of Justice is holding this information. It's constitutional violations, criminal and federal violations by public officials. Now Governor Hogan got this. Alright? Because I'm a community activist and you locked up a community activist, and these are the people in the community in which I serve. You feel me? These are the people in the community that I serve. Commissioner Tuggle. Alright. The Great Work. TJ Smith. Ceasefire. Alright. These are the people in the community that I serve. I was making a movie about your politics. And this movie needs to be completed. It's 13 years. December the 2nd is the anniversary of my son's death. February 2nd is the anniversary of my mother's death. Between now and then, the state of Maryland and the state of Illinois are going to have to compensate me for my losses. Defamation of character and the libelous statements that you made. I'm not a terrorist. I'm an activist. I'm not a terrorist. I'm a cook. I'm not a terrorist. But I'm going to terrorize you with the truth. I'm an ex-felon. We got a right to vote. We got a right to hold office. We got a right to own property. We got a right to make a movie. Work at the Corinthians. Been at the Corinthians for 14 years. Governor Hogan, Cardens, Brian Frosh. That's a defamation of character and consumer protection fraud violations. The state of Maryland participated in the fraud. I told the state of Maryland I was making a movie. I told the state of Maryland and Illinois I was making a movie about Martin Luther King. I applied for his job because it's been vacant too long. And these are the supporters of Shorty that support me. And I gave it to the Department of Justice so we don't have no misunderstandings. You can go to Richard Sher from the... Richard Sher did the first story on me on Hard Look in 1998 at Green Spring Station. I've been in business since 1997. You feel me? I've been in business since 1997. You made me homeless and I had to start all over again. So I had to rename myself. I had to reinvent myself. So now I'm Shorty's Bootleg Barbecue. So good I'm illegal. You feel me? See me rolling? See it? It's moving all by itself. So good. I got Whitey, my sidekick. I came from nothing. Y'all made me homeless. But now I got a truck. I got my business. I work at the Corinthians once a week. So now we're going to tell the story about Shorty. That's the toilet I put in front of the Towson Courthouse. That's the DVD exposing the politicians involved in mass incarceration. That toilet was about Schellenberger. That's evidence, and it's clearly marked evidence. It was marked evidence for a case for February the 28th, 2011. Arts and promotions. We was having a conversation about the illegal war on drugs versus the opioids. That toilet was evidence for this case here. You feel me? That was evidence. So the 2019 session, you're going to have to talk about this. We're going to talk about the IRS. We're going to talk about the state's attorney. You feel me? We're going to talk about the elections. And Brian Frosh, you got to deal with it.
I didn't know y'all was coming.
Redmer got information to turn over to Oleski. Oleski said he got to deal with it, then he got to deal with it. I want a federal audit and a state audit on my property, on my business. The movie's about Governor Hogan. He says that he works with black people in Maryland. No, he don't. He worked with some black people like Kenny Ebram, Donnie Glover. You feel me? But he don't want to address mass incarceration because that's his cash cow. That's Governor Hogan's cash cow. And we're going to address it. That's when the police came in my house and put guns in my head. And Governor Hogan don't want to address it. That's the movie. I won. I beat you. You feel me? I won in court and I beat you with toilets. So we're going to make this movie live so the people can see. I work for Out for Justice. I'm an unpaid lobbyist for Out for Justice. I'm an ex-felon. And like I said, get Richard Sher, get all these people to turn over this information because we're going to have this live. Just like Doogie Howser, I'm going to show you my journey for justice. Between now and February the 2nd, I'm going to show you what I do every day. Here. We're going to talk about it.
Well, she going to do that for me.
It's my journey for justice. So Rob Fiks, we made a deal. I'm tired of waiting.
Don't get pumped up.
Everything coming to an end.